New York, the Big Apple. It has been my home for all of my life, filled with a rich history. In this series, we'll explore some of that history, presenting Reflections of New York. It feels good to be back on City Island. The first time I was here, I was in my early 20s. It was a night out with my father and a few of my uncles, just to lift my spirits. That day I had to miss a get-together I couldn't make it to at the time. We drove out here to have some fish, some laughs, and to hang out. Being that it was a place I'd never been before, I was excited to go. I never got a chance to explore back then until a couple of years ago. At the time, I was there to photograph some backgrounds for using my computer-generated artwork. Even then, I haven't fully explored the island until now. City Island is located beyond Pelham Bay Park. With an overall population of 4,518 people, it is surrounded by the Long Island Sound and Eastchester Bay. Access to the island can be obtained via one bridge leading from Pelham Bay Park. You can travel there by foot, car, or the MTA's Bronx 29 bus, which is how I got to the island. In general, the island is a fusion of a suburban lifestyle and its early shipbuilding and nautical past, which is still evident when you walk down City Island streets. This is an excellent example of a living time capsule in the modern era. Originally, the S01E people were the indigenous population of the island until around 1614, when Adrian Block, who claimed the land for the Dutch, forced them out. Approximately 40 years later, Thomas Pell acquired the land, thus triggering a conflict between himself and then Governor Peter Stuyvesant, who wanted to eject Pell from the island, believing that the Dutch purchased the land and it is rightfully theirs. However, Pell refused to leave. As a result of holding his ground, he was allowed to remain on the island. However, Pell had to agree to Dutch rules. Thomas Pell's ownership of the land ended in 1749. Around 1761, Benjamin Palmer purchased the island and tried to turn it into a commercial district that rivals Manhattan. Thus, the island was renamed New City Island up until 1800. Throughout the years, the local oyster farmers and shipbuilders decided to eliminate the "new" from the name and just became plainly City Island. The island became part of New York City as a whole during 1896, when they had voted to detach themselves from Westchester County. Meanwhile, City Island maintained their shipbuilding tradition well into the 20th century. An excellent example of the surviving history of City Island is the William Schofield Estate. Located on 65 Schofield Street, this 150-year-old structure is a symbol of the transition from a maritime community to a more suburban-style neighborhood. The building itself includes a one-story porch running the entire width of the main level, large windows, in addition of a flat roof with an overhanging drop basket. The house still maintained its original wood clapboard. Throughout the years, the estate fell into a state of disrepair, until renovation supervised by the architect Zachary Schwetter. Later, the building was declared a landmark during 2009. Preserving the nautical past and heritage of City Island, we have the City Island Nautical Museum. Located on 190 Fordham Street, this landmark 19th century former school building is a trip into City Island's vast maritime past, including photos, documents, and various other artifacts. The museum is open on Saturdays and Sundays between the times of 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., and admission is $5. walk down City Island Avenue, which is essentially their main street, you'll experience another great feature of this island. More than 30 restaurants line this avenue, from large establishments like the Lobster Box to smaller establishments like the City Island Diner. Personally, I usually go to Johnny's Reef restaurant at the very end of the avenue. It's usually crowded, but the service is quick and you get a lot to eat for a decent price. I might try something different along the strip next time I'm in the area. In conclusion, City Island to me is a great escape from the tall buildings and loud noises that fill the air. If I need to go, all I have to do is take the 6 train to Pelham Bay Station and then hop on the Bronx 29 bus and I'm there. A fantastic and peaceful destination for a day trip.